Welcome to another edition of Badger Beat, your look at the University of Wisconsin football team. I'm Adam Mertz from the Wisconsin State Journal and madison.com, joined today by publisher of Badger Nation, the magazine, the website, Ben Wargel. Works on all things Badger sports. Today we're tapping into his expertise on recruiting, and in particular the class of 2013 for the football team. 6 commits in, Ben, 3 committed at the time of the spring game. I want to walk through those first while they're fresh on people's minds. Jack KEELER, take me through his background.
First off, it's amazing how one weekend can change how people view the recruiting. A lot of people are like, this class is off to such a slow start, then you get 3 kids in that are really going to impact the program. Talk about Jack, who's a prep teammate of Dan Volz, who's now on campus here. Really big kid. He gets offers from Miami, West Virginia, Tennessee, Illinois, Indiana. But when he came to Wisconsin over the past summer and he was on campus and he saw the tradition and he saw the history of it, he just knew I could play here. And then when he got offered at the spring game, he talked to Dan about it. He just felt, man, this is the place I want to be. I want to be at a place with a rich offensive line tradition. 6'7", 280, guy's just going to keep growing, and he's going to be a really good fit in with that offensive line in a couple of years here.
Another guy whose name people are going to love saying for the next 4 or 5 years, CHIKWE OBASIH.
Another guy from the Brookfield Central pipeline that's come to Wisconsin, Joe Thomas, Brad Nortman, Jeff Lewis, Ben Strickland, who actually helped recruit CHIKWE here. And a guy that Wisconsin wanted a defensive end in this class. They offered 3, A.J. Natter, who went to Nebraska, CHIKWE, and Alex James, who is still uncommitted at this point. And CHIKWE is just a kid that obviously comes from a great family, a family that stresses academics, a kid that's very raw still, but has the right talent and right mixture to be kind of a disruptive defensive end, kind of like David Gilbert. He has the ability to change his body in his first year like David Gilbert and get up to that 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", in that range, 260, 270 of pure muscle, and be a real pass rushing force on the outside of the defensive line position.
His parents came over, his father at least came from Nigeria, PhD, very good academic background in him, and I thought it was interesting that he said he did not want Brookfield Central's reputation for producing Badgers to be an automatic consideration for him coming here.
No, I mean, he came here with an open mind on many of his visits, and he always left feeling like this was the right place I want to be at. Obviously, playing close to home, just an hour and a half down the road, is always a thing that really excites people. Obviously, his family can come watch him play. He played for the 2-time Big Ten champions, hopefully 3-time by the time he gets here. A guy that just has his priorities straight, and he gets offered by Vanderbilt and Yale too. And I mean, you look in terms of academics, I mean, you can't do much worse than those 2 schools when you're being recruited.
Big one that kind of came as a surprise to some people, maybe just because of the geography. Rob Wheelwright, receiver from Columbus, Ohio. He hasn't been offered yet by Ohio State, and in your story, you kind of said, hey, this is my commitment for now. So where do you think he stands in terms of security inside the Badger program?
Yeah, he kind of kept the door open a little bit there. And, he said that he's not going to be taking any more visits, but he said he is going to be, if coaches call, he's going to talk to him. And, that's obviously with the whole Kyle Dotson incident and the whole Urban Meyer thing, that's obviously something that, people are going to go, oh, no, we're going to lose him. But, Ohio State hasn't offered him yet. So you have to look at it as that Ohio State doesn't view him in the same way as Wisconsin views him. And, Wisconsin was his first BCS offer last June, and they stuck with him too. Even when the coaching change happened, Zach Azzani, the new wide receiver coach, made him priority number 1. And during the spring game, Azzani, during pregame, wasn't more than a couple feet away from him at all points. I mean, the coaching staff really was giving him kind of the full VIP treatment on his visit. And, Wheelwright saw in the spring game, there's an opportunity to play right away. You look at the wide receivers Wisconsin has, and there's not a lot of guys that are consistent enough. And, Wheelwright has just kept improving year after year at Walnut Ridge High School, the same high school that Austin Traylor came from. And you see how good Traylor is as a redshirt freshman. It's that same kind of young program that Byron Maddox, the head coach down there, has really developed. He developed some really good pass-catching players. If Wheelwright does come here, which I kind of think he might probably do that. I know if Ohio State offers, that's something he's going to have to consider. But right now, I think that Wisconsin is going to be in a very good position to keep him, and I think that's a very good get for the Badgers. A 4-star, number 1 type wide receiver for the future.
The 3 earlier commitments, you had Garrett Dooley, T.J. Watt, the younger brother of J.J. Watt, and Derek Watt. The third one is one that I want to bring up with you because his status has changed a little bit just in the view of eyes of people like you who evaluate talent. That's Austin RAMESH of Eagle River. This is a guy that was kind of off the radar for a lot of people, and I don't know if that was geography of being in Eagle River, but you have update on how he's viewed nationally at this point.
Yeah, we just don't throw stars at kids at scout.com just for the sake of throwing stars at kids. We really try to figure out, where they fit in, where they rank, and we got his film, and his film is just so impressive. And you look at where he could be, and there's so many different results for that. He could be a linebacker, he could be a running back, he could be a fullback. He's kind of a jack of all trades right now. But we viewed him as a fullback right now, and we rate him as the number 2 fullback in the country, getting input from all our different regions of where all the different fullbacks rank. Now, granted, there's not a lot of fullbacks, but anytime you're in the top 5 at your position, huge honor. And this kid, really started exploding right after National Signing Day in February. Michigan State offered him. He got opportunities here and here. But he just was like, I want to come to Wisconsin. I want this opportunity here. And he's going to be a guy that's going to be a gray shirt opportunity where he's going to be able to build his body up without losing eligibility and be able to come in January 2014. And I think that helps Wisconsin with their small scholarship numbers, that they can be a little bit flexible and really get a really good kid that's worthy of a full scholarship offer to come in a half year later and therefore offer another kid that may be an area of need for this class.
Thanks for your insight today, Ben Wargo, publisher of Badger Nation, BadgerNation.com.